We are operational.
Actually, I'm not allowed that anymore.
Okay.
Okay, I'm leaving.
So Alice actually signed that for you?
Yeah,
That one?
Hey.
I went and spent a day and a half or so with her, I guess. So she,
I should take a picture of that. That would be very cool.
Okay. Legs are damaged. Yeah.
Together?
Sorry.
Excellent.
if you see her, tell her I'm not dead yet.
2005. Yeah, see? I can actually watch you as you're talking.
Excuse me, I'm going to throw up.
Except I don't want to cut your head off, so I got to raise it up just a hair. You don't want your head cut off, do you? There. Now your head's not going to be cut off. Yep. Okay. Well, I will go ahead and that book it's about 122 pages.
Oh, Mrs.
Inez's, yeah.
I gave a talk on Seaside for the last 100 years at the 100-year anniversary, or the Lewis and Clark Centennial thing.
Okay.
At the convention center, and nothing except she was there and she came up and thanked me because I was doing such a nice job. Made me feel good because she was the smartest lady in the world.
Alice was?
Yeah. She had two kids and they were both brains, and I was just a guy from the bridge tender. But we had each had our life.
I talked to somebody that helped her put that together, and they said she was just sharp. I think she's passed away, though.
Oh, who?
I think, hasn't Alice passed away? Or did I misunderstand that?
I'm talking about Inez.
Oh, well, I know she passed away.
Yeah.
But I think Alice has passed away, too.
Well, she must have. She's older than I am, and I should be dead. I'm 84.
Yeah.
I fell down a week ago, and I thought I was dead.
Oh, no, yeah. Well, don't do like Carter and break a hip or anything.
Oh, I've done that.
Oh, you've already
years
done
ago.
that.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about, I know that your dad originally was a real estate agent in Seaside. How did he meet Barney?
Originally, my dad was a real estate man in Portland, and he and Bob Holmes were good friends. Bob worked for a radio station down here, and then incidentally was Governor Lloyd at the time. He talked to my dad into coming down here. So my dad came down and went to work for the OPA, Office of Price Administration, during World War II. And on April 15th, 1944, he and Barney formed a partnership, my dad and Barney did, and opened up Seaside Gilbert Land Company.
So that was before Barney had actually platted out Seaside?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because
Barney
he
at that
didn't plat
time,
it out until 46, didn't he?
I don't know when he platted out. He didn't plat out Surf Pines. He platted out Surf Pines Beach, which is where Norma lives, and then north of there, about the equivalent of, say, 6 blocks.
Oh,
That's
okay,
the
so the
platted
first
area.
8 homes. The first 8 homes were
No, they were just, that's the only part that got platted. The first homes were where Richie's folks lived, where Duger lives now,
Right.
Reese. Barney lived there. Barney
lived in Duger's house
Duger's
too?
home. From there, north, you know where Hazeltine's old house is?
Right.
To Hazeltine's house were the first homes in Surf Pines on the upper road.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I know the north end hadn't been, Strawberry Hill was a place to hike to
Well,
until
Strawberry
like the
Hill was an
70s.
add-on, was vehemently not part of Surf Pines as long as my dad
I'll
was
bring you
there.
wood because you're fucking Caleb.
He would,
I'll bring it back.
He
I
didn't
said
like
I would, but I got in trouble that night. I don't want to talk about it.
but in any event, he and Barney's partnership broke up on a friendly basis. They also owned the Gilbert Block downtown in Seaside. And Barney bought Dad out. And then
This was in the early
Barney moved
40s.
the Gearhart Golf Course, the Gearhart Palisades, and You know where Weston Everett's, or what do they call it now? Where Lynn Brigham's office is.
Oh, Windermere.
Windermere.
Okay.
He owned all that property in there too.
No kidding.
That's called the Lucas Golf Course Edition. And so Barney had that to develop. He'd already been developing surf Palisades.
Mm-hmm.
And he had the golf course to run. So when the partnership dissolved, my dad continued to run Seaside Gerhardt Land Company. My mother and my dad ran the Gerhardt Golf Course. Barney then, I think about then, started working the Surf Pines angle.
And that was in the late 40s?
Must have been.
Yeah, because I think he developed
19
Surf Pines. He planted the original Surf Pines out in 46, if I
In
remember correctly.
1954, I joined the Air Force and my dad built his home in Surf Pines. You know where that was? Next door north of the Hazeltine House. It's the smallest lot in Surf Pines. It goes diagonally like this. Down
Yeah,
to
I
the
think
lower
I said,
road.
your son still landscapes that house, doesn't he?
There it is?
Not recently, no.
'Cause I know he landscapes a couple of homes right down there.
My dad's house was written up in Golf World for his mini golf course. He used wiffle balls, you know what they are?
Uh-huh.
And he had a 9-hole golf course around his house.
Really?
And my mother, one time, we were having a little social, and she slipped a hard ball down in somebody's tee. Of course, it went from here to Jones's and back. But anyway, it's all plumbed around there, even with all the remodels of that house. Somewhere underground are all those sprinkler heads for the greens, because they had 9 greens. That was years ago. But anyway, then Barney tried to sell the Surf Pines project himself in the Riverside building in downtown Seaside, which he also owned. And he also let my dad have a listing on the properties. And so, what else? Barney, so I have maps for you too.
Oh, perfect, thank you.
And the lots were for sale. He would advertise them. And Barney's son got in a little jam.
Was that when he stole all the booze with his buddies?
I don't know what he did. I think he stole some stuff.
Yeah, because I know Barney got real.
Yeah, he sold out.
Yeah.
Barney also developed Neoconi and Neoconi Golf Course. The Wilsonville Golf
I
Course.
didn't know that.
After he left Surf Pines, he'd already started Neoconi.
Mm-hmm.
Big project. Bulldozer driver's name was Elwood. And then he developed the golf course down there. And then he went to Wilsonville and started the golf course up there. And then I kind of lost sight of him. But Barney lost face when his kid got in trouble. So he sold my dad all the remaining property, and my dad took over Surf
Oh,
Pines.
okay.
And
That would have been in the early 70s,
I think maybe like
late 60s, early
in the
70s.
early 60s, I would think. I'm
Because
not
they,
sure.
they created the Homeowners Association in 1969, and if your
Yeah,
dad didn't
but-
like HOAs, then
No, he didn't have a gate, and he owned the roads. If you bought out there, you could use that road. He owned the water systems, and you could have the water. But finally, somebody formed a Surf Pines Association, is what they called it, and they started charging for the water. By that time, I'd built out there, by the way, and I had my own water. I didn't hook up. I didn't join the association. Pop said not to.
yeah.
But I got married in '60, and I built out there. And my kids, so it must have been '69 or '70. Yeah,
Okay.
about '69 or '70.
Yeah, because that's when they started developing that Seabreeze area where they took and broke them into quarter-acre lots.
Yeah, That's on the lakeside you're talking about?
Yeah, right in the center of Surf Pines, you have that section, you know where Horizon is? It's
Yeah.
on either side of Horizon between Mannion and Ocean. It used to be called Lucas,
Yeah,
and now
It's
it's called
not?
now it's called Seabreeze.
how precious.
And yeah, I guess well, Jimmy Lucas had some other issues with a lot of people at Surf Pines, so
Yeah. Jimmy was a good guy.
yeah, but he just had a few challenges.
Well, they got pissed at him because he built his house too high.
Oh yeah, and they made him chop 6
Yeah.
feet off of it.
And one thing and another.
And I actually had just moved here when that happened.
Pardon?
I just moved to Surf Pines
Did
when
you?
that happened. That would have been 96, 97.
Yeah.
That's when they made him chop it off.
See, I had a house up there. I think I don't know how long we lived there. Kids were first grade when we moved there. And I don't know what. I think my kid was he was in high school when we left there. But by the time I left, the Surf Pines Association was kind of telling Pop what to do, and he said it was time to get out.
Mm-hmm.
And I agreed with him. But
Now,
in
I
any
have some
event-
specific questions on that.
Okay.
From the research I was doing, because I had to do this for the reserve study, and basically you've got some idiot attorney who is telling us that our homeowners association bylaws and articles are not a corporation because we don't have CCNRs. Well, the way I have tracked it so far is when Barney first opened Surf Pines, they had CCNRs. And part of those CCNRs was they had a limitation where you couldn't build anything smaller than 1 acre lots.
There were deed restrictions.
But I thought he had done that for the whole development though. That's what
He did by the
CCNRs.
deed, as I recall. Not by CCNRs, as I recall, but I'm not that bright. But I know that there's like the lot on the ocean front below Hazeltine's is like 2.5 acre lot.
Mm-hmm.
And that was an exception. And then, because there were supposed to be 1 acre lots he was going to do, but he sold that to those people and they built one house on it. I don't know why. Norma's house is in the platted area. It's on 112 foot wide, and whatever it is from the lower road to the high tide mark lot.
Not anymore. I mean, it is now, but it wasn't originally. Originally, those first 8 lots at the south end there, Lucas did not have it to the high water. He actually had the
That's right, he chopped
measurements.
them off. That was part of what I was going to tell you. Those platted areas, I got paid $1 an hour to find those front survey stakes. 4 of them.
Oh, no kidding.
Out in the goddamn dune with the water, grass was knee high.
Yeah.
I took 3 or 4 days, finally found them all, but anyway, yeah, you're right, that's right.
Yeah, because I remember Norma telling
The
me
others
they
go to the
had.
high water line.
Yeah, because anything past the first 8 lots, but the first 8 lots, he had it actually set off, and then Jimmy
Well, and
decided
that's
he
all
was
the-
going to make new lots
In front.
because it had grown
That
another
dog didn't
400
run.
feet out there.
But that's right. That was Surf Pines Beach Edition, and that's the platted area in Clatsop County. So otherwise, it's all meets and bounds descriptions. There's no plat out there, except for Strawberry Hill, whatever they call that now.
Yeah, Strawberry Hill Division. And
But that wasn't Barney's project.
no, that didn't get added on. Malarkey, I think, developed that, didn't it?
I think Richie and what's his name did that, didn't
Strawberry Hill?
they? Who did Strawberry Hill?
I think Malarkey.
Charlton had something to do
Yeah,
with it.
Rick Charlton was involved, him and Malarkey,
That was
because John McGowan had the house up
The
right
Blue
below
House.
the house with the blue
Right,
house.
right below Box's house.
Right. And so he was there. Jerry Whalen, who's a Boeing engineer, was in the house below John McGowan's house. And then they built the other ones. And I remember John McGowan telling me this, say, I'm perfect because I have it in my deed that they can't build west of Ocean. Guess what they've done? They had a house on the west side of Ocean.
Is that right?
Yeah, a lady named Shannon built there.
Roger Shannon's wife, I bet.
It might be, I'm not sure. They're from Portland, and they just built about 5 years ago. And but I remember the original deed restrictions said that they could not build west of Ocean for, where Whalens and all of their houses were.
Yeah,
And then about 5-6 years ago, they started building houses there. And I don't know how they got around it, but somehow
maybe there was an expiration date on the restriction.
might have been, and that's something I want to know.
Yeah.
But the question I had that really has fascinated me is that I knew they had 1 acre minimums up until the early 70s. And then your dad was the one that platted out the smaller lots in the center part of Surf Pines. And I think
Now, what do you mean? The 100 by 100s in the Lucas Golf,
on the Lucas
that addition there?
that addition there.
No, Barney platted those out.
Oh, he did? It
Yeah.
was Barney that did that.
And he did that. I don't know this for sure, but I think he did that so that there'd be affordable housing for other people. I'm not sure, but as I recall, because my pop was kind of upset about that. Too small lots, he said.
See
The
now,
100 by 100s on the back side and 100 by 150 on the front, on the Ocean View side, something like that.
I don't know if
Wait a
they're
minute.
quite that small. I think they were 1/4 acre, but yeah, they were a lot smaller than 1 acre lots.
Not hard to figure out, is it?
Oh, there you go.
This is Waterhouse stuff. That was all mine. Later on.
Okay, I'm
Here's the other lots. They were, they got the acreage. This is Lucas Drive here.
where's Horizon? That's
Here's
Horizon.
Mannion Drive.
This would be Horizon here, isn't
Here's
it?
Ocean.
I think that's Horizon.
Okay. This is towards Schroeder's. This is towards Sunset Beach.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, on this side of the road, these are the 100 by 100s, and these were bigger, but I can't read them there at all. I'll find it.
Oh, here's your acreage. 0.23 acre, 0.34, yeah, 1/3 to 1/4 acre lots is
Yeah.
what they had. But it was Lucas that did that. See, the story, and this is the story I heard, is that in the early to mid 70s, that Lucas was having a lot of, cash flow was really bad. And so your dad and Lucas decided to develop these smaller lots so they could sell them. And most of the houses right in this area were built in the 70s.
My dad and Barney were not financially involved at the same time in Surf Pines.
Oh, okay. Well, see,
He
that's
bought Barney out,
okay. Well, that was one of the questions I had. So,
but that may have been true of Barney, I don't know. I'm trying to see if I got something in here that was... See, that's called Surf Pines Estates North preliminary plat, was what this Waterhouse property was. It never got off the ground. But I got some other more interesting maps that maybe I'll give you a copy of. Surf Pines Landing.
uh-huh.
I don't know who developed that. Not Barney, not my dad.
And I don't think it was
They were
SEPA. I don't
both-
think it was SEPA. I know, wasn't Hinky involved in one of the developments?
Hinky was involved in a lot of things.
Yeah, Hinky gets a little hinky.
But I think he was involved in that.
Yeah,
And-
yeah, because he built his mom's house on Neocoxie
My
Lake.
dad was long dead by then, and because he and Barney felt the same way. That's why, here, I'll show you on this map.
Oh, there you go.
Up here, this is the gatehouse where that arrow is.
Uh-huh.
This was all owned by Hazeltine, Mannion, Malarkey, and Hanson. Nobody was ever going to build on there, goddammit. Of course they did.
Uh-huh. Yeah, now that's, what is it? They call it, let me take a couple
No,
pictures of
here,
that.
I'm getting, there.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah. got more than one of those.
Oh, that is so nice.
Look at that.
Oh, yes.
That's my wife.
Oh, be darned.
Here's some
She was a
ads.
good-looking lady.
She was a very attractive girl. She's from Louisiana. You can have that if you want it. I don't know if you want these things.
Oh, yes, I definitely do.
Here's some ads. A lot of them featuring surf pines.
Well, you're a treasure trove here. This is very
I'm just
cool.
an old man.
Well, I treasure you as an old man then, damn it.
HLB, Dale Barrett. You know him?
Dale Barrett.
He's a surveyor. He's a darn good one. He's not one of these flaky guys. This is a survey that he did of, this is Lucas Drive. There's your road going down by the,
There's Horizon, yeah, because Ken Weber's right here.
here's where the water plant was. One of the water wells.
Yeah, that's where the park is now, isn't
No,
it?
Park's here.
Oh, Park's here, that's right. Well,
And
that's
the-
right, one of them was here and one of them's near me,
One of
off of Shady
one
Pine.
is over here.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a story real quick. Is this of use to you at all?
Oh, yes.
Then you can have it too.
And if you want any of this back, I can get it back to you. I can scan them all in.
When my dad died, my mother gave the roads, the water system, and the 2 well sites to the Surf Pines Association. I don't know how she did it, by deed or through the attorney or something.
She transferred the roads and the wells to the Surf Pines Association.
And then about a month later, somebody in the Surf Pines Association called me and said, your dad promised to give us a gatehouse if he ever died too. He left my mom with $11,000.
That wasn't very much.
They had a house that had a mortgage on in Palm Springs and a home with a mortgage on here. And she had Social Security for her future income. And I said, well, if Pop promised to give you that house, I guess that's fine. So my mother signed an deed and gave him that gatehouse property.
Did she sell it to him or give it to him?
Give it to him. I think it was the dumbest thing she ever did.
But the gatehouse used to be his old real estate office at Seaside?
Yeah. You want these ads?
Sure.
Okay,
No,
you can, if they're not of use to you.
I won't throw them out. If I
Okay,
don't
good.
use them, what I'll probably do is scan them digitally and then probably get them back to you so I don't lose them. Yeah, I mean, I'll get this all back to you.
You want all these maps in? You're gonna give them back?
I mean, yeah, I'll get them all back. Let me just scan in what
Why
I
don't you
want.
give them to
and-
you, you can decide what you wanna do with them.
Okay, yeah, and like I said, I've got a professional scanning machine. Actually, I got a professional scanning machine that's coming in 2 weeks.
You got too many toys is what you
Oh,
got.
this is for the Heritage Museum.
I bet your wife's gonna kill you.
No, it was actually her. We went over. You heard about that fire in Aberdeen, the armory in Aberdeen that went up and caught fire about 2 years ago.
Oh, I don't recall it.
Anyway, all of the historical records, like the Heritage Museum, went up in flames.
Oh, boy.
And so I was in doing my research, and I got to know Lisa Penner really well. And she's talking about all this paper, and she said, well, what if there's a fire? And she said, well, basically, we're SOL. And I said, well, that ain't good. And so I started doing some research, and I found this, there's a library called the Heritage, or the Archive.org. And it's like the 3rd or 4th largest digital library in the world.
Oh,
And they have these scanners, they call them Scribets, and they'll scan 400 to 800 pages an hour. And so they gave us a really good deal on them for like it was under $20,000. So we went out and found a family foundation, and they gave us a grant for $25,000.
oh,
And so we're supposed to get the equipment, so we're going to start digitizing it. Well, I can use this to scan that in.
there you go.
So I'll have a professional scanner to do
There
it.
used to be a map man named Metzger. You ever hear of
Yes.
Metzger maps?
Mm-hmm.
This is a photocopy of the Metzger map property. And it shows Surf Pines is in here, something, there's Sunset Beach.
I've got the original plat layout for Sunset Beach.
Do you really?
I found it at the bakery. I used to have it posted. I gave it to the people that bought it from me, but I had the original plat that they had.
I haven't
And the
seen her, I just
kids
went back.
of the guy that developed this back in 1910,
Yeah.
they hated each other. And they ended up frittering away. They filed lawsuit after lawsuit, and they lost everything.
Oh, boy.
But anyway, yeah.
Well, there's the lake, there's just all Surf Pines in here. So if you want that, you can have it too. Here's an aerial photograph of Surf Pines before it was developed.
So that's Neocoxie Lake right there.
I think so, yeah.
Not to be known as Sunset Lake. Everyone calls it Sunset Lake, which is totally incorrect.
Well, Sunset Lake is one lake. I think Neocoxie is considered to be another. I'm not sure. I don't know very much sometimes.
Well, actually, where it got confusing is that development Sunset Beach. You know, that was the community, you know, the one that they developed. And so everyone calls that Sunset Beach, so they just by osmosis
Sunset
call it
Lake,
Sunset
yeah.
Lake, but it's actually Neocoxie Lake.
Oh, it's like West Lake is east of Neocoxie Lake.
Exactly.
And it's- what? They're wrong. You got one of these?
Not from 2001, 2002.
Well, you can have that.
Let's see, 2000. I'm in here. I'll be in here.
Did I give you one like this?
There we are. See?
There you are.
They have us, yeah, 89867 Ocean Drive.
Is your old house in here?
Yeah, 89867 is down, let's see, where is Ocean on here?
Oh, this is Ocean.
Okay. We are actually further south. We're almost at the south end. You know where?
This is the south end, and this,
Oh. Then our lot would be,
my house was McDougall's. That was my old house. That was Frank Gallard's house. I think this is a public way to the lake now. Right
what
here.
year was this?
I don't know what year that was.
It's just supposed to be morning showers.
The gatehouse is all the way up there. Oh yeah, and there's the lots right there.
Yeah, that's the platted lots.
You're on a system for all of us.
So I
Here, my
would be,
dad's house is right here,
Way in on that.
track 12.
there you go. Yeah, 'cause
Anyway,
I
if you
would
want
be-
this map, you can have it too.
Yeah, I'll take a quick picture of it, but I would be,
We've all got kids. They can do this.
now is that
Right.
Ocean right there?
That's Ocean Drive, yeah.
See, my lot is actually where it says North Duck Lake. That's
Oh, yeah.
actually where my lot
This
is.
is, remember, this is just some guy drawing a picture.
Oh, okay.
This isn't the survey.
Oh, okay, that makes
The,
sense.
the house with the tile roof is over in here.
Right. I used to be a part owner in that.
Were you?
Remember Mike Maltman?
Can't forget Mike Maltman.
Well, Mike's the guy that built our house on Ocean.
Mike's dad?
No, Mike Maltman did.
Mike did, yeah. Mike's a good builder.
Oh, very good builder.
He's
but-
just a jerk, that's all.
Yeah. Well, anyway, the Saudi prince. Remember the Saudi prince that used to own that house? His name was Prince Torquay, and he had bought it from the guy that got.
Boxer.
Bloxham had it first.
Pardon?
Bloxham had it first. He built
Bloxham had it first, yeah.
And he's the guy that invented the inserts for the apple
Yeah.
boxes. And there's a curse on that house.
Merritt Bloxham.
And he bought the house, built the house, and he did it all in Japanese style. So all the tiles came from Japan.
I know that.
They're the same tiles that they have on the Empress Hotel next to the Riviera in Las Vegas. Because I almost sold all
They
of the
took them
tiles.
off, didn't they?
Yeah, well, that's how, when we bought it, we took it off. So, anyway, he decided, this Saudi prince bought the place, remodeled, put all this money into it. Then he came over with his harem of wives and his horse, and they were going to go riding in the middle of December. And he got mad because they had a winter storm and he couldn't ride his horse. So he never lived there again. So they let it dry rot, and it had a bunch of water damage.
Oh, for God's sake.
And finally, they decided to sell it. And I didn't win the lottery. And I wanted that house. So I sat there and I thought, I really do want this house because it was so cool. And I had a few bucks that I got from selling my company, and Mike didn't because he had the Susan Lalise, but he had the the wherewithal and knew everyone. So I went to Mike and says, hey, why don't we make a stupid offer? So we offered $750,000 for that house, and it was on the tax rolls for $1.4 million. And he took it.
Huh.
So we went to Western Bank over in Astoria, and I knew the guy, the manager there, and he gave us $1 million line of credit. So we bought the house with the $750,000, and then Mike was going to refurbish it. And he thought that all of the water leakage was through the tiles. And so he took the roof off. It turned out that wasn't it. It turned out it was that Trivet or Drivet that they had for the walls, and they had aluminum framing on the windows, and they leaked. And all the wood dry rotted. So anyway, he replaced the roof and replaced that, and we had the biggest garage sale in the world.
I bet.
Because they left all the furniture there, and so we had a big garage sale and or estate sale, and we knew people wanted to see it. So we charged a $5 fee to come in there, and then we donated the proceeds to Habitat for Humanity and Class of Animal Associates. We raised $2,500. Oh yeah, well I ran it. Barbara and I did it.
Oh, good.
But I did the whole thing. We made $30,000 off that sale. And we only had $3,000 in the whole deal. And so anyway, he did all the remodeling. Well, I had done the bakery, and I decided I was going to do artisan bread, so I needed a bigger oven. And we had a deal where either Mike or I could buy the other one out if at the end of 6 months we hadn't sold it. Well, he wanted to live there. And so he gave me $100,000. That's what I used to buy my ovens. And he went in, moved in. Of course, he got his girlfriend, his son's girlfriend pregnant. And he took off and all of that. But everyone that's lived in that house has had something bad happen to them. Bloxham, got that blonde floozy and lost everything. And then the guy, I can't remember his name, Kendrick or something like that, he was head of the warehouses. And he had all the retirement funds. He kind of absconded those monies to run his drug business. So he got thrown into jail. So after he got rid of it, then this Prince Turkey from Saudi Arabia bought it. Well, he didn't actually have any marital problems. He only had 50 women in his harem. But he was the one that financed Osama bin Laden. And so he ended up getting thrown out by the royal family in Saudi Arabia. So he's in disgrace there. And that's when they ended up selling it to us. And then Mike took over, moved in, and that's when he lost his wife deal. And then the guy that bought it from Maltman, he and his wife, people got to know him. Anyway, he ended up getting some blonde floozy.
Oh boy.
His wife had cancer and died, so he ended up losing everything, sold it. Now, Knutson.
Knutson owns it?
Yeah.
Which one?
Bob.
Bob?
And you know why? Because Bob lived across the street. And his wife's dad actually was the maintenance guy for that house for 10 years.
I knew Bob's father real well. He and I got drunk and danced on the bar at the Bowie 10 in Hammond.
Bowie 9?
Huh?
The Bowie 9?
Bowie 9, yeah.
Oh, Bowie 9, yeah.
Yeah.
Was that when Nadine still owned it, or was that when...
I don't know. It was back when I was in Rotary in Astoria. So it was a long time ago.
That would have been Nadine and her husband still.
Anyway, I got to use the bathroom.
Okay,
So is that all right with the machine?
go for it. Yeah, I'll just shut her down for a couple minutes.
Oh, I was. Jesus. Okay, 19.